we go.
What's that sound? It's aliens and they're living in your town. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared of aliens? Well, you should be. Because aliens want to pop around in your booty.
I can't hear you either. You're the only one I didn't mic check, by the way.
No. Hold on. Let's see something.
Yeah, turn those knobs.
How about now? Can you hear me? Oh,
he's
you know
there.
what happened, Vicky? A ghost came in here and turned my volume down.
Sure.
Let's start that over. Hello, weirdos. How's everybody doing? Of course, it's going to be a little messy in the beginning. That's what Weird and Whatever's about. Happy National Burrito Day. Denny's, if you don't mind, give us a little taste of that Burritos song that everyone's talking about.
The Burritos, is it a clip?
It is one of the clips, yes.
I love burritos. I love Doritos. I love my Cheetos. I love burritos.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. But
I
okay.
didn't even know there was such a track.
In 10 seconds or less, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, give me and sell it like you're on Shark Tank, the best burrito of all time with a place attached to it.
So you're saying, where's my favorite place to get a burrito?
Yeah, but describe it in 10 seconds or less.
And then I can say the name of the establishment?
Yep.
So I think locally here, West Palm Beach, Torero's has the best Tex-Mex and burritos. I think the steak burrito is so good. Need I say more?
I've never heard you talk so much. I said 10 seconds then.
I mean,
Beckett, 10 seconds, sell it.
So I used to get the chilito, the chili cheese burrito at Taco Bell. I'm now a veg, but it was 99 cents. I used to get like 4 of those bad boys, and it was just chili and cheese wrapped up in a crappy flour tortilla. It was one of the best things I ever put in my mouth.
Vicky?
Ironically, I just had one of the best burritos before I came here. It came from my kitchen. It was a breakfast burrito that I make ahead of time and freeze them and take them out whenever I want them.
Damn, Vicky goes homemade.
Yeah.
She's not only homemade, she's food prepping.
Yes.
Kind of breaking the rules of the game. But I'd like to try a breakfast burrito. And for me, if you grew up in this area, you know what I'm talking about. We like it wet, we like it big, and it's called the wet burrito from Taco Viva.
Ooh, Taco Viva.
Viva, baby. If you're local here, you know what I'm talking about. Taco Viva,
They
baby.
used to be all over the place, and they shut down. I used to have to go to Town Center Mall food court for Taco Viva back in the day.
Oh, yeah. No, Taco Viva, it was a monster back in the day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of restaurants here in South Florida that were just, running game. Yeah, the Ponderosa. Does anybody remember
You always
that?
bring that
I remember Ponderosa.
Yeah,
Was that a buffet?
It was a buffet. My family loved a buffet.
Yeah.
I don't feel like your family loved the buffets, Beckett.
Oh, Cece's Pizza I used to crush.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think, okay. Denny's?
I used to go to CC's so much. I don't even, are they still around? Do you
I
think?
don't know.
Yeah, they are.
They're around.
Yeah.
All right, I like their dessert pizzas. I thought it was cool that they had the dessert pizzas.
Yeah.
We're working pretty good, Denny's. We're live and we're
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm posting it on Facebook right now. That's why I'm kind of like
beautiful.
tapping in and out of this burrito.
Sometimes
stash.
you'll see someone make a movement and you go, uh-oh, is there a technical issue? His arm moved that way. Vicky, let's just jump right into Ask Vicky. Now, if you are new to the podcast, Vicky is how would you describe yourself? I never want to give you your title in a wrong fashion.
I'm a psychic medium paranormal investigator.
And you do ghost investigations at people's houses?
Correct.
Okay. Got some good ones here. Can spirits ever join forces? Because typically you always hear, I got a ghost, it's haunting me. But you really don't ever hear of a Cobra Kai scenario where there's 5 or 6 individually as a group kind of bullying or haunting somebody. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, my home, when we did the walkthrough before we bought it, we have 2 spirits speaking to each other that were obviously working as a team because one of them told the other one to get out and the other one said okay because they didn't want us to see them. They still wanted us to buy the house. They say that shadow people will often run in groups and their goal is to wreak havoc as a group. So I've definitely come across, I have EVPs of ghosts making fun of us together. Talking to each other, planning what they're going to do together. I actually have EVPs.
To kind of build upon that, let's say you are one of them earthbound spirits or a shadow person and you find a clique that you do enjoy. You go, you know what? Me and Beckett, we've been dead here for a while. We're kind of having some fun. I don't know if I really want to go to the other side. Can you achieve nirvana in that state?
I mean, I'd have to ask an earthbound spirit personally. I mean, it's not what you're supposed to do. So to me, I would say it'd be kind of hard to achieve the highest of highs because you're somewhere you're not really supposed to be. You're supposed to transition and then come back in visitation and do whatever you want. So I don't know. Is it possible? Yeah. I mean, you could eke out your own happiness if you're stuck here.
Would you say individual haunting is more common than a group type of haunting like that we're talking about?
Most homes that I have investigated always have more than one spirit. They may not be associated with each other because you can also have spirits in a house that don't associate with each other, that have nothing to do. They may acknowledge that the other one's there, but they do not talk to each other. They don't interact. They don't do anything as a group. They stay and do their own individual haunt.
Well, much like nature or humans, or do they get competitive with each other? I'm haunting better than you.
It could be. I mean, we've gotten some pretty humorous EVPs where they were kind of boasting about what they were going to do to us and stuff like that.
But
like contest.
I like the idea, Beckett. You got two ghosts that don't know each other, and they both want to haunt me, and they're going, "No, I'm gonna haunt this son of a bitch better than you are. I'm a better ghost. I know how to scare him." Can't you see something like that happening? And if you did, would that scare you more, or you kind of think it's more humorous?
If I thought I had two
Two
ghosts, that could
ghosts
compete-
separately, and then they're arguing over who wants to scare you more.
It'd be funny if it was two girl ghosts and they were arguing over who you like better. I think so.
Okay, so you're not scared. You're turned on. You turned to sex. Gotcha.
Kind of change the rules a little bit.
No loopholes.
And I apologize for the people listening. I may ask you throughout the podcast if you could hear everybody, if Beckett's too low or too high.
Yeah, let us know the levels. I kind of made some adjustments.
Probably too high.
We're still working this whole thing out.
In all seriousness, I would think that competition would probably be more scary because they're always trying to raise the stakes.
Well, that's what I mean. I when you've got two people who aren't on the same team but they have the same mission, I kind of feel like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Especially if, say, you had two spirits in a place that they didn't want humans to be there. They don't necessarily like each other, the spirits. They don't necessarily associate, but they have a common goal, which is to get the living people out of their place. So they would get, like, intense competition, I would think.
Okay, so we agree. I have ghosts here. We have spirit. We have activity here. Is their goal to get me out, or is their goal to keep me here because they like me?
I don't think they want you to go. I'm not 100%. Well, the one female I would say likes you. Mm-hmm. But these things that are
See?
bordering on not human, I don't know what they want from you.
Would you say I've got more or less than 10 non-human entities in my house right now? If you had to guess.
You have less than 10.
Less than 10?
Yes, of the non-human ones.
What about spirit?
Or elemental.
Yeah, elementals. I think you have somewhere between 3 and 4 elementals, and your human ones, you only have like 2 to 3.
Damn, barely any.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trolling.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, though. There's one that wants me to stay, and we have nicknamed her the Va-Va-Voom Ghost. She's kind of sexy, Denny's. I feel like she's from the 20s. She likes ragtime, old-timey music, and she likes to dance, baby.
So do you think she was drawn here because Bird went through a huge phase of playing just ragtime after ragtime?
Yeah, I don't think this particular spirit was in this house prior to him coming here. So I would say that he attracted her.
All right.
But when you say that, what made me attract her? Because I just started studying ragtime as a musician, or
It could have been the music that brought her here. It could be your energy that brought her here. There's a lot. It could be the open vortex that brought her here. That, I mean, there's a million things that could have brought her. I just don't think she was here prior to you moving in.
Beckett, we're talking things like vortex, ragtime, va-va-voom, thoughts, opinions.
It's interesting that a girl was attached to you.
It's all about sex.
Oh, no, it's not. Well, maybe I have to reassess myself.
I think you have to go toss off real quick.
I think the vortex is interesting. I
The
forgot about
vortex is very interesting.
So basically, that's just a portal to the ghost world. and I guess things can leak out of it.
Yep.
So you think we're getting affected by the vortex?
If we stayed here long enough, there's a possibility that we would. I think that this is like an amusement park for them. So them following us is not as likely. Because why would they leave Disney World to
Right.
go someplace else?
And they know I'm here to just fucking dance.
Well, I've hung out after a podcast. I feel sucked into the vortex sometimes, for sure.
That's a different kind of work.
Denny, since you're here a lot, never had any kind of paranormal feeling or oddness other than what I've put upon you.
I haven't felt anything. I mean, I've been in places where I feel creeped out, kind of. I don't know if that's a paranormal presence or if it's just because so many horrific things have gone there. It plays with your brain. But not here. This place is a place of fun.
It's designed that way, Vicki, even for the dead or the living.
Well-
It really kind of just an oasis of fun.
The more you go to a location, the less likely you are to pick up on spirits. So I'm here once a week, and then we had like that long break where we weren't on the air. This still isn't old for me, but like in my house, I literally could have a demon sitting on my couch and I probably wouldn't even notice him because that's my familiar surroundings. I don't tune in at home. I don't do that. So the more you're over here, the less likely you are to feel weird. Now, it doesn't mean you can't experience something because you may actually visually see something, but you're probably not going to get that weird creeped out feeling.
Does it ever become a situation where the person that the ghosts are trying to haunt, the person actually breaks the spirit of the spirit, going, this son of a bitch will not. He's got a Ouija board. He's doing a podcast. He's saying "fuck you" to the ghosts. Does it get to the point where they go, I don't think
We're out of here.
Yeah, he's not gonna
Yeah,
budge.
I could see them getting frustrated with you.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't outwill a spirit.
Well, you know what? This is if they're hanging out in a place and the person that is here is annoying them, they have the right to leave. So, I mean,
Becky, don't back down.
Never.
Screw you, ghosts.
I love it.
Ghost thirsty.
Oh, I'm so ghost thirsty. Hopeful, ghost hopeful, alien hopeful. Our next question for Ask Vicki. Why don't we see more animal ghosts? If animals have a spirit, then why don't we see more rhinos running around, more buffaloes scampering? Why is it that it's only dogs and cats that people report on?
when's the last time you had a pet rhino?
Yeah, what attachment do you
It's
have?
it's about the attachment. It's about, so you'll see dogs and cats because they had an attachment to their owner. A rhino has no reason to stick around. Now, again, this is just what I've been shown. Animals that have an attachment to a human are going to hang around until that human crosses over.
So Chewy's here still?
I would say he is.
I mean,
Maybe that's one of the ghosts you feel the presence of.
I don't know. You really do you feel Chewy's presence here?
I've never tuned in to feel Chewy. But ironically, you asked that. Now, this could have been an elemental, but last week something actually touched my ankle while we were doing the show. And when something's that low, when something's that
Here,
low,
in this room.
right here. And when it's that low, I'm usually thinking it's like an animal, like putting their nose up against my leg or something like that. Or you have elementals too, so they're kind of short. Either way.
Basically, what you're saying is we got a hodgepodge of just some crazy shit going on.
Yeah, you got anything you want up in here.
I mean, Becky, it's designed that way.
100%.
Don't we want this, right?
Yeah.
Vicky
You're
goes-
doing it for the people.
Vicky gave up. She goes, "You do you, boo."
Oh yeah, I don't even try anymore. I just smile and nod, and
That's why it works because
yeah, I go with it now. I go with it.
Denny's, you're hearing all kind of shit over there. I mean, you're awfully quiet. Vicky comes in with these very strong opinions. You don't believe this horse shit, do you?
Well, no, I mean, I can see elements being here that I'm not attuned to pick up on, but I haven't seen any of that. Somebody's asking in the chat, is your dad scared of ghosts whenever you
Oh,
comes here?
my dad's very
He's kind
connected.
of old school about that
Very
stuff.
connected to the spiritual world. In fact, I had it for our first podcast, and I never did it. And I won't even ask you to look for it, Dennis, because it's in 19 emails before. But he had taken a picture where a lot of death had happened. It was this boat or ship area. I forget what state it was. He's going back and looking at his photos, and there's this face that's clear as day as a face. in several pictures, and he goes, "What the hell is that? It wasn't there." No, my dad is way, way big into the spiritual realm and world. I get my weirdness from my dad. Beckett, thoughts about animals and spirit. Do you think every animal has a spirit? Every living thing?
1,000% is what I believe. At Pope John Paul, I think I brought this up in the past. One of the big things the students got in arguments with some of the Carmelite priests is that the dogs don't go to heaven, right? And I was like, I saw a Disney movie about this. They obviously do.
Turn up your volume, Beckett, just a hair.
So I think his volume's good on for the people. I have to adjust him for that.
Okay.
I would just say that if you've ever experienced an animal, whether it's a dog or a cat or, just had any kind of interaction, some of these things, they can't not have a spirit. I just posted something on my Instagram. There was this dog, I forget which city it was in, but they were amazed because it would get on the subway, it would take a ferry, it would go to this thing. It was a daily routine it did, and everyone thought it was a stray dog. Turned out it wasn't always a stray dog. That was the route that it took with its owner for years, and his owner passed away. And the dog still did the routine every day. Now, that's a small story, but you see some of that stuff. You have interactions with animals. It's hard for me to believe. I think, again, like we've talked about, aliens existing, so whether they've been to Earth or not, it's almost, in my humble opinion, ignorant and arrogant to not think that just because they don't look like you, they don't maybe have the same level of intelligence or experience life the same way, that they don't have spirits.
There's a story we have a clip for. A dog named Hero lived up to his name out there in Canada. There was a 61-year-old woman who was injured and stuck lying in this muddy ditch for 2 days. And her dog Hero stayed by her the entire time, defending off coyotes, just protecting her, keeping her warm. And this is what I'm talking about it right here.
After I whistled, I heard a loud scream for help. So I was a little taken back with where this may have came from. So I whistled again, and the shriek came again and said, "Help, I'm down here." He was behind this very 5 foot tall bush of just grass and weeds, and kind of laying on his back, and he was unable to get up. He was quite cold. He was shivering. For a dog to be in this situation and act the way it did and alert us and other people, if it could speak, just to say thanks so much and how much we appreciate what it did.
That's a bummer about animals. Sometimes you want to verbalize something to them, but you can't. You have to express it by just,
It was the hardest thing for me and Chewy, man. To your point, a human's in pain or there's something they can tell you.
Comfort.
When you love an animal and you know it's not right or feeling healthy, and it rips your soul apart. And I love the fact that animals do protect. They know they have a genius all in their own world that I think some people sometimes don't get.
Right.
I have a new animal in my life. I just have to brag about him for a few minutes.
I seen the photo.
Yes. So my neighbor, he catches iguanas for a living, and apparently somebody called him from a Boca neighborhood because there was a rooster that was bothering everybody. And he didn't realize the rooster could fly as well as he could. So he had him in the backyard, and the rooster flew off. Well, it was Saturday morning, and I see this rooster walking down the sidewalk. And this is where you talk about how smart animals are. I just went to the end of my porch, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" Next thing I know, he's walking up the driveway. He's coming up the steps. And we have a new, I don't know if this is in the thing, if you want to put it up. We have a new.
Oh, man, I fucked it up. Here we go.
We have a new rooster.
Adorable.
His name is Arnold.
Arnold, I love it. Adorable. Can the people see it?
Yeah, it looks good.
He looks like he's peacocking a little bit.
He's peacocking a little bit.
Yeah, he is. He loves when you call him a pretty boy.
The thing I have to thank KVJ Nation for, when Chewy did die, I took it very, very hard, to the point where I don't think I've ever been the same ever again. It's a weird thing losing a pet.
Yeah.
But I remember it was very odd because the last thing I moved into my new house here was Chewy. So, the moving is stressful anyway. Mm-hmm. And if you have a special needs dog, you're also thinking about that's on your brain. So that was a big anxiety for me while you're moving. And I got him in the house, and then he died hours later. But I was so distraught thinking, did I kill Chewie? I had so much guilt. And so many awesome KVJ Nationers said, nah, man, Chewie knew he had one final mission to get you into your new house. He knew it in his heart. He did it, and then he could rest. Now, whether that's true or not, positive words at a downtime is it's the most important thing ever.
100%.
And I think there might be some truth to that.
Yeah, my dog died 10 days after I moved into my new house. So, yeah, I question, did I traumatize him? I mean, I didn't have a choice but to move, but, did I traumatize him? What could I have done differently? And all those kind of questions. So,
well, we're blessed. We got some awesome people in our nation that, has some perspective on some stuff. And it did help me greatly. So I do thank you all for that. Ask Vicki question, last one. I need my glasses. How do you know a psychic is full of shit? If Beckett goes to a psychic and he's walking in there, kind of like a shitty mechanic, there's 5 warning signs. Yeah. What would that be?
If you actually sit down for the reading and you can tell they're doing a lot of fishing, like they may ask you a question to get you to affirm one way or the other so they know kind of what way to go and make something up. But, I mean, it's about energy. Like, if you yourself can pick up on people's energy when you go to these places, see how they make you feel before you get the reading. Because a lot of times they will be there. They have a shop or whatever, and they're there, and you can just see what it feels like to be with them and see what their energy is like. Someone contacted me who they're very particular about who they want to take their friend to because of the situation. And she said, I looked at a lot of people, and you're the only one that I really think that we can trust. But that's just, picking up on energy and stuff like that. I do want to answer the question that came up in the chat last week. I had mentioned that sometimes I do things for free, like emergency readings or things like that. And this person asked, what constitutes an emergency reading? An example is I had someone contact me whose loved one was in the hospital. They were not able to communicate with this person because they, were non-communicative. And they reached out to me, and I stopped what I was doing. I answered them and then, messaged for several days. And I was able to give them things about their loved one that they knew I couldn't have made up or got lucky or whatever. And I was able to relay messages back and forth. And there's no way I'm charging for that.
Yeah,
you can't.
Nah.
You would be such a horrible human being, and your karma would be so muddy that you'd never recover from it. So that's just an example.
So on the morning show, I kind of go in harder on psychics, but the reason why I do that, so I can highlight that you are not one of them. You are one of the good special ones, because there's a lot of shitty ones out there, Beckett. That's why I go in, so we can show that there's some shyster shit going on out there. There are people that suck and are trying to get your money, and they're faking the funk. Vicki really does give a fuck. She does. I've known her for 15 years. She's not. She's trying to help.
Well, I think people, to be fair, hold a different standard sometimes with certain things. They have one bad reading, and then the whole industry is kaput. Right? There's tons of horrible realtors out there. Just because you have a horrible experience with a realtor doesn't mean all realtors suck. But
That's an absolute statement, and we don't do absolute statements, right?
Right.
Only
exactly.
a Sith speaks in absolutes.
Exactly. So it's unfair to have a couple bad readings and then just throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, because there's bad chiropractors, there's bad attorneys,
bad mechanics.
There's bad actors in every industry.
There is, though, but with that said, though, there really is a lot of shitty, bad psychics. There is, man. There just really is. And it's easy to do and to prey upon people who are in a terribly emotional state. And believe me, you will believe things and do things because you are distraught and sad.
Yeah, 100%.
I worked with a teacher who went to a psychic, it's probably been like 10 years ago, and he convinced her to go to the beach and bury money and jewels that she had just inherited.
Oh my
So
god.
he could
She
go-
did it.
Yeah, dig it
and
up.
he dug them up. Yeah. So yeah, there are people out there like that, and anybody who's had a reading know that I like with most people. I'm like, if I give them information, I'm like, oh, I want to know how that works out. Please text me. You have my number. Please text me, and I'm sincere about it. And they do. They reach out and they tell me, oh, remember you said this? Well, this is why. Blah 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 blah. And I do appreciate the feedback, and a lot of people I've read for have become friends. The only problem is, just a disclaimer: if I've read for you and you become a friend, I can't read for you anymore. So
You could read for me though.
Yeah, anyone I've referred to Vicki, absolutely loved her. And these are like
Honestly, we're very lucky. We're very fortunate. Most people like this crew right here. We have a very good team here, and I'm very fortunate to have y'all part of it. So yeah, Vicky's the real deal. Beckett's the real deal. We know Denny's is the real deal.
Yeah.
My gosh. No. And with that said, by the way, great job, Vicky. Let's go ahead and jump into some
Denny's random facts.
A little bit earlier tonight.
Yeah, jumping in early here.
Denny's, he searches and researches all over, not only just the internet. I think he goes into some old school encyclopedias, Beckett.
Are you using AI yet?
I don't use AI. I will though.
I'll set you up after the show.
All right, help me out with some AI. I go back to the Britannica.
Me and Beckett's going to get into a very, very deep whiskey AI debate after the podcast.
I love it. I love it.
Vicki is our educator. She grades Denny's on all of his factoids. If she loves it, she gives him an A. If she doesn't like it, she can give him the F. She can throw the D. It's not pretty. Denny's, the floor is yours.
All right, I kind of teased it in the video before the podcast, so I'll start off with it. But sloths don't fart. Their digestive system is so slow that it takes days just to even digest leaves, that it is reabsorbed back into their body before it could ever reach the end and be farted out. Kind of like that one fact I did before, that if humans hold their farts, eventually your body will reabsorb it back into your bloodstream and it'll just come out your breath.
That is such a rough fact, dog.
Yeah.
So one thing to consider is, sloths definitely have fart breath. But so I looked into it even more. What other animals don't fart? It turns out salamanders don't fart either. And this is because their sphincter muscle isn't strong enough to stay closed all day. So even if they did fart, it would just be a continuous fart, like a forever fart.
World record fart is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's just constantly seeping out. And then also, bats have never, ever been recorded in scientific literature for ever farting. And they think it's because bats have extraordinarily quick digestive systems. If they eat, they poop within minutes of eating.
Wow.
They think since they poop so fast that their body has no time to even form methane. But yeah, 3 animals that don't fart at all.
Vicky, educator, holy shit.
yeah, he had me at sloth, and then he went for extra credit points, so I got to do A.
I just had to look into the other animals.
You just gave us a bread talk, homie. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's an A for me. Now let me ask you all a question. If you could go hit a button, yes or no, to where you never fart again, would you want to live in a world where you don't fart, or do you kind of feel like
I'd be down with it. Right? Wouldn't that just make it's just like one less thing to worry about?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel that you fart and you feel good after? You're saying you don't even want that feeling. You just want no farts.
Yeah. Just we can eliminate the whole thing.
No gas.
It would be amazing, right?
I don't know if it still exists, but I remember when I was a kid, my grandparents had something called Beano.
Oh, yeah.
And you used to put it in. It was supposed to. It's still out there.
Yeah,
I think it works for a lot
Does
of
it
people.
work?
I think
People
it does.
swear by it.
Yeah. So that was people making a choice not to fart.
I think it works for a mild kind of a case. I think if you got salamander butthole, I think you've got to go to the doctor.
Rumble pants.
Denny's, I loved it, Vicky.
Oh yeah, it was an A.
A, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
What do you guys think about this? And should this be something that we adopt? Parents in Switzerland can hire a scary clown who will stalk their children for a week and then smash a birthday cake in their face on their birthday.
Depends if the kid needs it.
Yeah.
I think
Depends on the kid.
I think a week's aggressive.
Well, so here, check this out. This is called...
That's an insane idea.
It's DeVille, the evil birthday clown. So what he does is he makes prank phone calls to the young victims, sends notes, and stalks them for a week. And then when they least suspect it, says happy birthday as he smashes a pie in their face.
So here's a problem. fear works, but fear also fucks people up.
Yeah.
So it works, but it also makes you into a basket case. Can we get a happy medium somewhere? Because I do believe a little bit of fear on shit. Looking back at all the greatest lessons in my life, I needed a little fear to knock me down a peg. It's necessary.
important.
That is borderline. No, it's not. It's
It's just a new twist on the birthday.
It's
starting
terrorizing.
in Switzerland. It is. I find that to be terrorizing, but
Beckett, thoughts?
It's maybe in some cases, depending on the context, okay to do it acutely, not chronically. Like to have a kid think someone's following them for a week is it's what you teach them to be aware of and not to happen.
I mean, think about that. You have a newborn son. Your kid's 10 now, and you and Jen hired a clown to stalk him, fuck with his head for a week, just
dude,
to.
it'd be so
Dude,
messed up.
even when you go, just kidding, that still stays with the
Surprise.
person. Oh my-
So messed up.
Vicky, thoughts on that?
I don't even know where to go with the grading. I really don't. I mean, I appreciate the effort that he did, and it's a very interesting fact. So when I give the grade, people need to remember that I'm not endorsing that anybody do this. So I got to give it an A for finding it, but a D for damn.
I
Don't
mean,
do that.
Terrible.
So you're the only one that has older kids. I mean, Denny's got a beautiful, sweet baby, but it's still discovering just shapes and sounds and farts, all of it.
Post-teen.
Yes, someone like your daughter, your son, in your opinion,
My daughter would have killed the clown before he ever got a chance.
do you feel as a parent that you should sometimes, if the kid's not getting the message, a little bit of fear and sternness is the right way of parenting?
I would call it maybe a little bit of reality, but to drag it on as long as they're dragging it out and on your birthday.
So I'm with you. That's not what I'm at. I'm asking, let's say your daughter is doing something, she's, in your opinion, she's going down the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
She's not listening to you. Do you now get the emotion anger or the anger emotion, the little bit more dicky to prove a point to get her attention? Or do you think that's just not the right way to parent?
With my daughter in particular, she just has to figure it out on her own. The dickier I get, the more likely is she is to do it. So she's just gonna, that expression, F around and find out, she's gonna have to find out on her own. And me being, aggressively dicky is not going to help anything.
Even if fear is kind of, and when I say fear, just kind of going, this is what's going to happen if you keep doing this, blah, blah, blah.
Because she would see through it. She's like, oh, you purposely did that. Well, I'm going to keep doing it because you set this whole thing up. So it all depends on your child.
It's a mind game.
It's the child.
I do think it's an individual thing. Beckett, I feel like you're a man that wants kids, correct?
Oh, bad. I have baby fever.
Do you?
Yeah,
I bet you do.
I do.
What's the best part about kids, Beckett? Making them. That's an old hacky
It
joke.
is.
But what are your thoughts? Your kid's being a shithead and you're trying as a parent and they're not getting it. Do you give tough love or you think that's not the right way? Or do you think Vicky, like Vicky said, individual?
Well, I'm a big fan of tough love. I think that you try the soft way, and if the soft way doesn't work, you go with carrot, and then you got to go with the stick. And it's not for my own benefit; it's for their safety or their own benefit. But as we're having this conversation, I was kind of thinking in my head, I'm like, well, let's flip the script a little bit and maybe change the context. What if my daughter was dating a guy that was clearly bad boy, toxic, wrong decision? Maybe then I hire a clown for a week to stalk him and freak him out.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
because the bad boy would knock the clown in the face and he would be forever the hero and she would
man.
never leave him.
And
Backfire.
the one thing I've learned is when it comes to the bad boy, about 75% of them are pussies and 25% could absolutely destroy you. It's about 1 out of 4 that are legit badasses.
Game of odds.
It's a game of odds.
You obviously don't know anybody I ever dated. We're in that smaller percentage.
Denny's, I know you're doing your facts, but I do want to hear your opinion because you are a new father. How would you parent all of a sudden Lachlan is just out of control? not listening to you.
It sucks because I was a pretty awful kid.
Were you really?
Yeah. I didn't really. I was very rebellious. Whatever I was told, I would just do the opposite of.
Can you? I can't. Isn't that crazy? You can't even. He's so peaceful
crazy,
and sweet.
yeah.
He tells me these stories when he was young, and I go, "Who was that guy?"
You're just fueled by hormones and drugs.
Oh yeah, no. I feel like everyone you're younger, you're your biggest asshole.
Oh, totally.
I mean, some people don't ever grow out of that, but how do you handle it with your son?
Well, it sucks because I do encourage a little bit of going out there and seeing the world. So I don't want to discourage that by any means. But at the same time, you do want to. I guess the best you could do is just educate him on the sweets of the world, the sins of the world, and then the dangers of the world. I mean, they're just out there. As long as all you can do is really educate him as much as possible.
I kind of feel like, at least at this point in my life, at my age, I kind of realize that about every relationship, that people are going to do what they want. And if they ask for advice and you give it, great. And if they don't take it personal. I just think that's almost like flossing your teeth, and you just got to accept it. And it's different because it's your kid. But even then you go, if I did my best, this is a human. They do have to. I'm not saying never not be the parent, and you're always going to worry and love your kid. But it does probably get to a point where you have to let go a little bit, Vicki.
Yeah, and you just do that, and then you're there to catch them when they fall. Sometimes that's the best you can do.
Oh, it's so painful.
So I'm not a parent yet, and I think that I would
So painful.
I would try to do my best to give a long leash on a lot of different arenas and contexts and stuff like that. But I think where I would draw the hard line is safety. A safety thing is where I would be not laissez-faire at all. I would be fully
Well, and the reason why I bring up kind of like the dicky way of parenting sometimes in a situation where Beckett's talking safety, there's been times in my life where I got the lesson because the person giving it was, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, clearly this was something I needed to probably have thought about because the reaction
happening
was so great. And I do think it's not a thing you should always use, but I don't think it's something that doesn't have a place in the world.
No, it's a good point, and it makes me think about I have a guy and our group of friends. He's from Jersey. He's always pissed. He's always yelling. He's got a vein.
Someone from Jersey's pissed? What?
He's got a vein that comes out of his forehead and bulges out of his neck, and it's kind of diluted because you're like, oh, that's our friend Mikey. He's always pissed. and then there's been some situation where my friends never see me pissed, and when I get pissed, they'll be like, I was scary as shit.
You've been pushed past.
Because they're like, it's different because they never see me pissed. So when I get pissed, it scares people.
You nailed it. You can only play the anger card so much to the point it becomes a cartoon.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And then that alienates everybody. Then everyone's talking about the angry person over there, and you become a joke.
100%.
But I'm with you.
You
Every
save your
now and
bullets.
then, you save your bullets. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Dennis, we did kind of, go on a tangent, but that's what.
Cool.
Give us another factoid.
So peacocks aren't actually called peacocks. We've been calling them by the wrong name all this time. The male of the species is called a peacock, but they're actually peafowl, and the lady peafowls are actually called peahens, and then the peachicks are called peachicks. Just not peacocks. We should be calling them peafowls.
I can tell Vicky's going to give you a real bad grade. You're doing so good, too. You were on the honor roll for a second.
C-.
Damn. Yeah. She wants to give you a D, but she's being nice.
But no more calling them peacocks, guys. We got to fix this. Call them peafowls.
By the way, the peacock is the animal that finally broke the whole emotional support at the airport, the grocery store. People finally said, nope, fuck this. A peacock, no. Everyone finally got on the same page.
Society always has its breaking point.
It was the peacock.
It really did.
Denny's, I think you've done a great job. Do you have enough for one more? And it's because she really
don't end on a C-. Come on.
Yeah. All right. I was hyping myself up there. Let's see.
So mid.
So this one will be a fun one.
So mid.
I don't want to be mid, guys. Seriously.
Damn, Beckett's talking shit on you.
All right, I'm going to end on a high note. I know what this one is a pretty fun one. So looking into it in a study in 2021, every dog's nose is unique. It either has a crease or a marking, very much like a fingerprint. So every pattern on every dog nose is unique to that dog, and it never changes. So you could identify dogs by their nose print.
Oh, I love a dog's nose. I mean, I love dogs next level. I can't believe how much I love dogs.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love that factoid, Denny's. But I'm not the judge and jury here. I love dogs, Vicky. Yeah. Chewy's nipping at your heel.
It's only your love for dogs. I'll give you a B.
All right.
All right,
For
it's
beagle.
No,
Beagle on
it's B for boop your nose.
great round, Mr. Denny's.
like it.
Teaching and sculpting young minds across the land. Beckett, let's. Do you have some Tech-It? Let's get Tech-It with Beckett.
Oh, I like Check It with Beckett.
What's out there?
I hope I don't wreck it.
What do people need to know in the tech world that's awesome?
So, after the podcast, we'll talk about AI. I've brought it up before. I was going to just tell a self-deprecating story that relates to AI. So I went through a pretty rough breakup. And
Recently.
it was like late summer kind of situation. Yeah.
Got timestamp that shit because I'm going to get questions.
Yeah. And it was like a long kind of on and off relationship, 4 years. And, I tried to talk in person, tried to talk on the phone, and basically forced my hand. I had to do it on text message, which I hated. I hated having to do it. And I took the text message and I put it in AI.
Damn, that's messed up.
And I
love it.
And I asked AI to make this into lyrics for a song. Within 20 seconds, it actually did the chorus. It actually broke it out and was written exactly like a song. So then I asked AI, what are good websites and AI programs to make a song? So then I took those lyrics, went to an AI song music program, put it in, and then it had a wizard that it took me through. Do you want a male voice, female voice? Do you want pop? Do you want country? Do you want this kind of... I got to choose different samples. All the...
So did you make one?
So, yeah, I made it.
Is it
You,
rock?
you really had to guess that? You made one? My question is, why don't we have it?
Yeah, send that to me.
I'll send it to you guys for sure. We'll play it after the podcast for sure.
No,
Let's play it on the
No, we
podcast.
want it for the podcast.
Okay, maybe I'll play it next podcast. I gotta find
man.
it.
You can airdrop it to me right
Hey,
now.
we could play this real quick. If you're not comfortable, I'm not trying to Weinstein this situation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Does it have a name in it?
No, I actually don't think there is a name.
Then it's safe.
So all of that to say, I was blown away by the end. I mean, messing with it is probably 20 minutes, but I had this amazing breakup song that it was basically laying in my bed, with watery eyes, basically made this amazing breakup song. And I am blown away by and this is just scratching the surface.
You have no idea how much gold you have just given us for material. First of all, the fact that you are, I'm not hating on, I'm so into this. We have to put this on the air. You say it's amazing. You go, it's amazing.
I thought it was amazing.
We have to let the chat room judge if it is amazing, and they love you. They'll be honest with you.
But there's like inside jokes, like it's the pet
They
name
get that.
and all that.
Our audience is not stupid. They get all the nuances of a relationship. Yeah. We need the Beckett ballad bad.
Tease us.
Oh, I got Beckett blue balls.
Because I never sent it. I never sent it to the
You never
person.
sent it.
Never sent it.
Oh, you're giving us your fucking journal right now.
Why did you
It's
not send it?
my notebook. Well,
Because he sobered up.
yeah,
This morning.
pretty much. I was definitely in my feels, and I thought about sending it, and it basically AI over that 20 minutes through the wizard, through all that stuff, took the text message I sent that was ending a 4-year relationship, which was a very lengthy text message,
By the way,
made it into a song.
I'm not making fun of your situation at all. But I do love the fact that you did. I was not what you're about to tell me. I did not expect that story
No, me
at all.
I preface with a self-deprecator.
And I think when it comes to AI, we are in a really tough. You know what? I don't even want to fucking go down that conversation. I want to talk more about Beckett's thing.
Well, it's like anything. Like, we've talked about it before. It's that thing we've brought up a lot. The law of the universe. For every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. We've talked about all the good that social media has done. We've talked about all the bad that social media has done. AI, I'm sure, will have that same double-edged sword. But I think people that aren't using it to augment their life are going to be left behind.
As a musician and somebody who works in the field of being creative, and you get paid for your creative ideas, and everything is what you're bringing to the table, I'm very up for making technology and hybriding it.
Yeah.
I just can't tell you how I am so against artists making type up this song. I mean, to me, writing and grinding out a song with emotion that you feel, whether it's not about you or whether it is about you, taking that time to do that craft as a human, to me, I think that's extraordinarily special.
Yeah.
And when you take that away, for me personally, it actually breaks my spirit.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart, but it hurts my heart and spirit because I know people don't agree with me, and I have to accept that, and I am having a tough time accepting that.
Well, it's a great point, but I would make a case that there are other contexts where you could make a case that the people that put the blood, sweat, and tears are going to be compensated more for that thing. Here's why. Like in construction, artisans that actually do things like how they used to always do a fireplace mantelpiece, we've lost a lot of those people because now there's just a machine that comes in and stamps it, and it's all precast stone, and back in the day it used to be all hand stuff. Well, the people that come over and do that handcraft stuff, they get compensated insane amounts of money for doing that handcrafted stuff, where these communities where they build 500 homes in 6 months, like that's just like a stamp and repeat and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's just a difference, and I think that there will always be a space for from soup to nuts. But even the people that are putting blood, sweat, and tears, they're using technology. It's not AI. It's not like writing the lyrics, but they're using computers to mix. They're using Movie Star to do different things, and that's not what people used to do.
I think everything in today's day and age is so this or that, and I know people get annoyed because I always bring this up, but I think it's an important thing to bring up. Every situation on the planet has so many different things of nuance behind it. And I'm not saying that AI can't help out in certain situations. Kind of like the whole parent conversation that we were talking about. Every kid is different. Depending on the child, you would approach it differently. Depending on the situation, I feel like AI is good.
Yeah.
And then on certain situations, I feel like it's really, really terrible for the human spirit and connection. And we have to ask ourselves, are we trying to get more efficient in technology just to be quicker and faster and get on demand? Or do we want to lose all that and not stay connected? Or do we want to stay connected as humans? Personally, I feel like if we're going to be humans on the planet, we need to be connected to our human species.
Without a doubt.
And I feel like AI is moving so fast to a point where the average human, not your fucking brilliant people that understand it, they can't catch up, and they're not able to handle it.
Yeah.
Me being one of them, I mean, I can handle it, but I see fucking problems on this.
Without a doubt. That said, and I think it's a little apples and oranges, as we've talked about in the past, grandparents used to say that about the internet or TV or all these.
Different. It's different.
I know it is different, but there was a similar kind of conversation on it. And by the way, one of the videos of your favorite artist, Billy Joel, that I've shown to anyone that's ever walked in the front door of my house now, that was made better by AI.
That's an opinion.
No, because you got to see him in his different eras, right?
It's still an opinion, though.
Right. It is an opinion.
Because not everyone loved it. I loved it, and I thought it was cool. And that would be an example. I think AI is cool when you can mix it to where the artist or whoever's being creative can kind of sign on or sign off on it. Denny, I mean, you're a musician just like I am.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about? Do I sound like a dinosaur, or do I have valid points?
I mean, it sucks because
I'm okay to be wrong and a dinosaur.
I mean, it kind of happened to the photo community first, the artists, because everybody can make whatever they want with AI now. It's just
Well, a lot of people thought autotune was going to ruin the industry, and it didn't really. Like there
It's
was
different though, Beckett.
It's totally different. But with autotune, I heard some artists argue that so many people write these songs and they have to give them to Britney Spears to perform them, and these writers never ever get to perform their own songs, and autotune allowed some of the writers of songs to perform them. And for a while you had T-Pain and all these other people doing autotune all over the place, and then it kind of went out of vogue, and like it still exists, but like
I hear what you're saying, but what we're talking about is literally apples and oranges. Auto-tune compared to AI is not even in the same fucking league.
I was wondering if AI.
but apples and oranges are both fruits, so they're like
Think? Oh, I see what you're doing. Beckett is.
How's that left speaker?
Geez. I gotta make some adjustments to Beckett after this.
So they're definitely clearly and agreeably different, but I think that there are some overlaps, like a Venn diagram.
I wonder if it's gonna get outlawed.
I want to get Denny's opinion. That I want to go to Vicki because you were talking about being a musician. Honestly, what are your thoughts? Because you're very great with technology, so you're kind of in both worlds more than I am.
Well, I'm like a Beckett. I do enjoy AI and stuff. I mean, I don't use it. I don't implement it as much for work as I do for entertainment, I guess. But so I think there are places for it. If you need generic music for a commercial you're putting up or something, you can just create something. But if it's something that you're trying to really sell yourself with, I feel like you should write it, and the more time you put into it, the more I feel transposed through the music.
There's a part in Flash Gordon where they go, there's nothing stronger than the human spirit. I want to still believe that. If Vicki, if you don't believe that the human spirit can win, what the fuck?
Yeah, why are we even here? Now, to Beckett's story, if I were the girl receiving that song, one of the first things I'd say is, "Oh, you didn't even bother to write the music and do it yourself, really?
Man.
You don't care enough about me to actually sit down and write your own music for this, really? Why didn't you have your best friend break up with me then?"
Here's my answer to it, because I'm not a musician. I'm not a musician.
Then don't do a fucking song.
Yeah, don't do a song.
Don't do a
Tell
song.
me from your heart that you want to get rid
And
of
guess
me.
what?
Some of the most
I'm not a real
views on
estate
it.
agent. I ain't selling houses.
Yeah, but that's a career. I'm trying to
I'm
do. I'm trying to do.
Vicki pounced on you, and I wanted to jump on you too.
So I am not a musician, and I'm not trying to sell it. I'm not. That was something that was going to be sent to one person.
Yeah.
Right. And if I went to Jaybird and Denny's, I'm like, hey, can you make the song? A, I would feel bad.
Why?
B, I would have to pay them.
No way.
C,
What the fuck are you? What are you talking
C
about?
would probably take a few months, like whatever.
You actually were so wrong on the last three.
So what we should do if
we turn and burn.
No, hold on. We would never be mad to do a song with you. B, it would be the easiest thing to do, and 3, we would turn it around in a day.
Well, okay. That's amazing.
And they wouldn't
That's good to know. Maybe what we should do is we should have our AI song, and then we should make a breakup song and compare the two of them.
Compare it.
Now that's a lot.
Challenge.
We were kind of busy back
I was kind of more on the whole idea of you playing your AI video. We all make fun of it.
Exactly.
No. Believe me, we're not scared of AI.
No.
No, but we do have a time crunch kind of a thing. But no, I do like the idea of I'd never want anybody to do anything on the air that they're not comfortable with. But the audience with chat room, do you want to hear Beckett's AI song to his ex-girlfriend? And to Vicki's point, which I want you to elaborate. I'm going to set you up, and then you can go on.
Okay.
I would be so turned off if I found out someone did not write it themselves from their heart.
I did write
Right,
it.
he did. He wrote the text part, so that's why I emphasize, you didn't bother to do the music yourself. You didn't bother
I
to
don't
record
know
this
how to
yourself.
write music.
But when you
I
take it-
wrote the song.
But when you take it through AI, it changes your words. Yes, it does. It does. It changes them. It it kind of reassembles them a bit.
It put it in whatever it's called. This is my point. It put it in bars and gave it a chorus, whatever. But it was what I texted for my breakup. It is the same gist of it. It put it in a music format that I don't know how to do.
How hard and annoying would it be if we asked a poll question with our audience? If it's annoying, we don't have to do it. I want to ask the people in the chat, and I'm not at all trying to make you feel bad, Beckett. I want to see if you found out someone wrote a love song for you, but it was done through AI. Are you turned off or do not care?
But you have
But
to.
it was a breakup song, though. That's
You have to.
But my whole thing is just it's about your emotions from the heart, about a matter of the heart situation, and someone presents you with a song. Are you turned off if you find out they threw it through an AI filter, or do you not give a fuck? I'd love to know.
I think if your husband is Billy Joel, then you're pissed off. I think if it's Ryan Beckett, then you understand it because he's not a musician.
Or does it make it even that much more charming because you're not a musician and you put yourself out there and you were so vulnerable and you didn't let some fucking robot do it for you?
No, because the song would never get done.
That's not true.
No, if you cared enough to break up with her with a song, you would have done it. Just think, as you become a parent, you're going to get these really ugly clay pots that your kids are going to make in art class.
I'm not gonna go through-
and you have to put them on your desk
Beckett,
for
I'm
10
not,
years.
I went through
So
4 years of a
do the
horrible
ugly
relationship.
song.
I'm not going to do 12 months of music lessons to break up with someone.
I agree. No.
Oh, how did you break up with her, by the way?
She forced me on text message.
Oh.
Try to do it in person. Try to do it on the phone.
And I'm kind of mudding it up a little bit because you have a unique situation. It was a breakup thing, but I guess my whole thing is when someone's giving you a matter of the heart message from the fucking heart, and then you find out it's been thrown through an AI filter, does that take it away from you?
I would not be insecure at all by sending the song by saying I made this with an AI program.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm just asking what the people, just the general, because to Vicky's point, there is something extraordinarily special of a guy who can't sing or can't do music, and he does finish it, and it does. He did it from beginning to end, and he goes, he didn't even know how to do that, and he did that for me. He didn't throw it through a 30-second, and love.
That took me 20 minutes.
That's not helping.
Man, after 22 votes in 1 minute of time, we are at a dead split. 50-50.
Ooh.
It's 100%.
Interesting.
It's still early.
By the way, I'm trying to find the song.
Oh.
Because I think I have it saved on my iPhone somewhere.
Beckett, you are the MVP if we can play that tonight.
I'll see if I can find it.
But this is perfect. This is what we're talking about. AI, feelings, right? There's going to be people like me and Vicki who are old school that go, AI, huh?
For sure.
That's I see the effort.
Some people
but
say the thought that counts.
that's not always true. If that was the case.
Yeah, and it's like I use the example. Like I had, God help him, the ugliest little clay pot that my kid made in art class sitting on my desk for 10 years. But if he had had somebody else in his class do it to make it prettier, it wouldn't have meant anything to me.
I'll never believe running something through a robot filter to make it better and tight. I'm talking about emotions. I'm not talking auto-tune. I'm not talking about
For
singing.
sure. Those are all tools.
I'm talking about writing the message, baby, the content. Is it...
Man, it is just dancing in that 50-50.
I love it. I love these kind of
48,
debates.
52,
This
and back
reminds me of the debate when Beckett said, I could never date a girl who doesn't have an iPhone. I'm going, Beckett.
Without a doubt, I'm sticking with it.
I'm going,
Oh, somebody texted that in the chat earlier.
I said, you shallow fuck. You're not going to date a... And then I was wrong. People go, Bird, you're wrong. I would never date her. It's too much.
I told you.
I learned. I love it. All right, Denny's, we can end it in about 20 seconds.
All right.
Beckett, give it...
Count us down.
You have 20 seconds to sell it one more time.
Yes, this
To
is your
sell
closing
what?
argument.
The
Closing
AI song.
Why AI is better?
Better than...
Yeah.
No, it's... So I think...
You're right. I changed the argument. I'm wrong.
I think it's a great question. I do not think it's better. I think it is an amazing augment. Remember, people used to use the Dewey Decimal System and take
Still do.
a week, 2 weeks to put books together and put it in whatever. Now you can go on Google Scholar and you can get all the information you need and whatever. Sure, can AI edge into creativity, and could that be a negative? 100%. You'll get no disagreement with me there. But I think used in the right way, like alcohol, like social media, whatever, it could certainly be a value add.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I really do. I agree with you. I'm sensitive to the.
That makes sense
I'm sensitive to where
because you're a musician.
a person that's
I'm
never
not.
that's never played that's
Yeah,
never
you're more
played
sensitive.
well that's never played. Well, I'm definitely more sensitive than anybody here.
I don't know. I was making an AI breakup song.
Believe me, it's not just Bitch Boy Beckett. It's Bitch Boy Beckett and Berg. Believe me.
Should I end it?
Let's end it. Let's end it. Let's see what our chat room says. Do they agree with Beckett?
Seconds.
And what is our score, Denny's?
All right. Somebody wrote you a heartfelt song using AI. Are you cool with it or are you turned off? 51% of people are cool with it.
Oh my gosh, you motherfuckers!
I won by a neck leg.
Well, I think that's what. And sometimes in life, you just have to accept it's over, dog. You got to accept the way
Times are changing.
the way of the world, and I am accepting that. It hurts. I don't like the idea that no one that's never written a song and can't play an instrument can go into AI and write a song, and people go, "Man, Beckett, that was amazing! Holy shit, that's great." To me, that shows zero talent, and it shows that you're just basically doing a TikTok video. But I guess I'm a dinosaur.
Yeah, but I think you're thinking in absolutes. I think that you're thinking
I'm not. No, I'm not.
you're a sloth over there, not farting.
You son of a I love it. I love a spirited debate with Becky.
I think that it's not either or, right?
No, you're
Like,
right. I hear you. I do hear you.
Snack Pack is going to do some amazing stuff, amazing new original things, and you guys just did something before the podcast that I was blown away by.
That live performance.
Live performance
With no robots.
No robots, amazing.
Although a robot would be dope.
But a
in
guy
that.
like a guy like me that can't write a bar and can't play an instrument other than the clarinet in middle school, first chair, is I'm gonna lay in bed and I'm gonna use and experiment with AI, and I never even sent it, but it was something I already wrote, and it was a long text message, and I turned it into a song, and in some ways it was cathartic, and it was just for me actually at the end of the day.
All right.
And I know it's coming, baby, and I understand that, but I do say there is a war. Mm-hmm. Just another thing for humans to fight about, Vicki. We're talking about, politics. We talk about gender wars, race wars, everything to where we can separate each other from humans, by the way. All of us are humans, all on the same team. I was raised by hippies. I do believe that. The division is tough, and I think this is going to be just one of them things that's going to cause more division. And I'm sick of people fighting, dog. I am.
Everyone is.
Well, I went to a TESOL conference in Tampa over spring break, and I went to a lot that were AI. And so they went through their presentation, and then there was this very, confrontational teacher, and he stood up and he goes, "Okay, so what you're saying is that this is just going to replace us, that we're not going to be anything. Sell it to me. Sell it to me so I know I'm not going to lose my job." So the woman, made her statements. And then the last thing she said, I'm going to quote such and such, and I don't remember who it was. She said, "If you can be replaced in the classroom by AI, then you shouldn't be in the classroom in the first place."
I don't know if I actually think that's, that's a gaslighting statement.
No, because teachers provide the human element that AI cannot provide. So I don't think it will get to the point, it will be way down the road if it does, where teachers are completely replaced. And they were talking about AI being used, like Beckett was saying, as a tool, as something that was going to improve but not do the work for the students.
The reason why I push back on that is because you still have human element and you still have AI element. And when the human element gets involved, it becomes very muddy. And if you're saying that an AI can do a teacher's job better, you don't belong in the classroom, I would just say that's would be my nuance.
No, she's saying if basically, if you suck that bad that AI can take your job, you shouldn't be there. There's something missing in your teaching that you could be replaced solely by AI.
But I guess what I'm saying is that there's times with politics and cliques, drama, where a teacher could be a good teacher and they're getting, completely, oh, they fucking suck. AI. I'm just saying there's a human element that still can not really support AI 1,000%, because humans will find a way to manipulate the system within the AI with what we're doing. That's why I'm kind of going, I wouldn't say that's 1,000% sometimes, just because if AI can do it better than the teacher, the teacher doesn't belong there. The book is out on that.
It shut him up, though. He sat down.
No.
Damn. Yeah. Probably should have shut me up, Denny's. Beckett, anything to add on? You're awfully quiet.
No.
He sent me the song, so I'm grabbing it right now.
We're not ending this podcast until we hear the AI.
If not, we can listen to it afterwards.
I'm grabbing.
Well, either way, chat room, weird whatever nation.
It's very self-deprecating.
If we don't get it tonight, you're getting it next week.
Well, so,
can I have some J-Bo?
You know what?
Is there anything sensitive that I'm just gonna let it fly, right?
Let it fly, man.
Yeah, we don't have to play the whole thing if you don't want to.
How long is it?
It's 3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Okay, we're playing it twice.
All right, here, I'm gonna fire it up and see what this.
Hello, my love. It's been a while since we last spoke, and these words are right. They come from a heart that's broke. I've loved you deeply with every breath I take, but now, my dear, it's time for our hearts to break. Faltered, it's true, leaving me lost, not knowing what to do.
It's kind of a jam,
right?
Yeah.
I want to fuck.
Totally. What message?
Breakup, sex,
dude. This is the sexiest breakup song.
I know, right?
My gosh, I'm horny.
Yeah, I was gonna say this definitely doesn't send the breakup.
The breakup Beckett banger gave me a bone piece. No, dude, don't stop.
I would have been confused.
Oh my god!
At the beginning,
I was so.
I was just getting warmed up.
I know. Please don't. Is it possible to bring it back up?
Oh man, yeah, I can. I mean, you.
Oh no, Denny, this is not terrestrial radio. We're not getting paid for this. It can be sloppy. It can be raw. That's what I like about this podcast. Yeah.
Continue on. The pain and insecurity have become too strong. For both of us to transition is what we need to heal our hearts and let our souls be free.
Let the souls be free.
When you return, our past must diverge. You have your own space, a new chapter to merge. And though it breaks my heart, the box will be with you to maintain a healthy boundary, starting new. I'll always be here supporting you as a friend.
Wow.
Look at that, dude.
That's an amazing line. Now she knows it's a breakup song.
Hey man, I had a bad week, and I want to say thank you. Give it up for Beckett for giving it. Hey, that's not easy to do.
No.
We're busting your balls. We love you for doing that. That's great content, my man.
That's
I fucking love it. By the way, let's get you legit in the studio and have you singing. How fun would that be?
I would love to.
Vicki, would you ever go in the studio and sing?
I would go in the studio and watch you guys sing. Absolutely, I would watch you do it.
You would never. You would never do it.
I can't sing.
But that doesn't matter. I can't sing. We still do it.
I can't. Well, maybe a little bit of a chorus or something.
That's what I'm saying. Let's all bring it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was listening last week when you had us finish that song. Of course, only me and Ponton were the ones old enough to finish the line. And I'm like, oh, I didn't mess that up too bad when I sang that.
What song?
When you did the, what were we talking about? It was one of your random facts. You did the Steve Miller Band.
Oh.
Abracadabra.
Oh. Abracadabra.
It's a jam.
I want to reach out and
touch you.
All right.
Grab ya.
Did you say
Reach out and touch you.
bang it? All right. I mean, with the R&B breakup song, it's a lot.
PG-13 here.
Holy shit, man. 2 babies just happened.
I know, that's hilarious. Well, I wonder what the description you typed in to get
I don't
that.
know if I've ever heard a sexual R&B breakup song. You just have,
If you had to think of a genre that I would pick for a breakup song, that's obviously it.
that is not at all what I expected that song to
Me
be.
either.
You made me very happy.
I like emotional male vocals.
I just like when people fucking put themselves out there that get the balls to do it. Bravo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anna's-
Bravo.
Anna's saying you should
I
make
love
a
it.
music video for it in the rain.
Oh, my. Who said that?
Anna.
Anna in our chat room's got great fucking ideas. You should listen to her.
I like it.
Let's go ahead now and with a couple little things. Let's see what we got here.
With some little things.
What time is it, Denny's? We got it's
It's
7:15. Jeez.
I rounded up.
Yeah, we gotta probably wrap it up. Unfortunately, just because we were doing stack pack rehearsal right before we got here.
R&B
I
jams.
gotta do stack pack rehearsal after this podcast, and I also have to jerk off after Beckett's song.
I get it.
I wrote it. I get it.
But one of my favorite things about the podcast, I really want to support local musicians. It's a passion for me. Being a songwriter is not an easy thing, and I like a Beckett just did.
So am I considered a local musician now?
No,
Oh yeah, we'll feature him on the next podcast.
You're a local texter.
you know what? You're a local. Somebody to keep their eye on. That's what it is. But if you are local and you write your own music, please send it to me. I'm getting a lot of submissions, so thank you. Please be patient. I'm going to try to play as many as I can. And me and Denny's were even talking about doing a side podcast called The Bird's Nest, where if we can't get to a lot of these original songs, because we are getting a lot of them, we might do a second kind of a podcast after the show podcast, play some clips, play some songs, and, give a little extra content.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not getting heard here, don't get discouraged. We just have a lot of people doing it. This week, we have got Denny's. I can't read my
You got
eyes.
the American English with their song "Wherever My Love Takes You."
Now they got. I saw their video today. They got a lot of subscribers and a lot of numbers on this thing in
The
a couple
video is
months.
pretty cool.
It is. They're from Wellington,
Ah.
local band. I know you about.
Yeah.
I know you know about Wellington.
Yeah.
Before we do
That's
play,
horse country.
before we play this song, Vicki, anything to plug?
If you want to schedule a reading or have a party, host a party, you can send me an email at nancy38drew@aol.com or like me on Facebook at Readings by Vicki, Vickie.
Beckett.
At Beckett on Instagram.
Oh, it's a Beckett list.
Oh, I have Beckett list too, though.
And you
Denny's?
can write us emails if you want. You can send
Yeah.
an email at kvjshow.com. I usually siphon through those.
And if you really want to get a hold of me directly, the best way is my personal Instagram. It's JasonKVJ at Instagram. So if you do have a song or you got a story or you got pictures or a video, let me know. It's time to get weird on the Weird and Whatever podcast. Again, this is our go ahead and ramp it up, Denny's like a DJ. This
All right.
is
We got the American English with their new hot track, "Wherever My Love Takes You."
Thank you guys for listening. We love you all.
Bigfoot is real!